Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, the question is, why do Muslims fast in the month of Ramadan? The answer is in Surah Al-Baqarah, Quran chapter 2 verse 183, where Allah the Almighty says, and I quote, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. O you who believe in Allah, fasting has been made compulsory, obligatory on you, just as it was made obligatory on the people before you, so that you may attain piety. When we look at this verse very well, we will be able to identify two very important things in this verse. The first is the Ummah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam were not the first to be doing the fasting. They were not the first that Allah the Almighty commanded to do the fasting. But even the other ummahs, the other nations who were there before the coming of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were also commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do the fasting. So Muslims are not the first to be commanded to do this fasting. The second thing is, fasting leads to having the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It leads to piety. What is piety? The piety is the ability of being obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and going away from the things that He has forbidden. Being obedient and abstaining from the forbidden things. This is what is known as piety. The fasting is a command by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you obey the command of Allah by doing the fasting or by observing the fasting, then you are likely to be pious because you are obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You did not go against the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you do your fasting, you should know that it is a command from Allah, and you were not the first people to be commanded by Allah to do this fasting. And the fasting also leads to being pious, because it is a command by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you are doing it, you are obeying Allah's command, which leads to piety. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.